This is Eyewitness News on LA56 with live breaking news.
Breaking news, police shoot a man in the lobby of a luxury Beverly Hills hotel. We are live at the scene with the new breaking details.
A pursuit suspect crashes into an innocent driver and then tries to escape on a skateboard.
Crews cleaning up after yesterday's muddy mess now get ready for another round of heavy rain that's about to move in. Good evening. I'm Colleen Sullivan.
And I'm David Ono. Welcome to Eyewitness News at LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7 p.m. And we have breaking news. A bank robbery suspect has been shot by an officer at a hotel in Rodeo Drive. And Eyewitness News reporter Leanne Suter is live in Beverly Hills where an investigation is underway. Leanne.
David and Colleen, this remains a very active scene here in Beverly Hills. You can see that Rodeo Drive remains shut down here between Brighton and Dayton Way. That officer-involved shooting happening right inside the front door of the Lux Hotel there, you see. Now, this was the scene. Take a look around 4:30 this afternoon as that injured suspect was rushed to the hospital. The man, police say, was armed with a handgun. He was shot by an officer in the lobby of the very busy Beverly Hills Hotel right here on Rodeo Drive. Now, authorities say it all began when two suspects robbed a Bank of America at Beverly and Santa Monica. Police say one suspect threatened the clerk with a gun and demanded money. After getting the cash, both men ran out. One was arrested right outside of the bank. The other, with the cash, ran off.
The second suspect was followed with a GPS tracking device that was left in the bait money. At that point, approximately 20 minutes later, our officers engaged who they thought was a suspect just inside the door of the Lux Hotel here behind me. That's when an officer-involved shooting occurred. The suspect was armed at the time, and he's been transported to the local area hospital by Beverly Hills Fire Department paramedics.
Now, no word on the suspect's condition, but detectives say they don't believe it is a life-threatening injury. Now, they say the street and the hotel lobby were packed with guests and visitors. Thankfully, no one else was injured in the shooting. Again, one suspect in custody, the other in the hospital being treated for his wounds after being shot by a Beverly Hills police officer. Back live here at the scene. The area shut down as the investigation continues into this officer-involved shooting. Authorities, again, saying the situation certainly could have been much worse given how busy the area was at the time. Live in Beverly Hills, Leanne Suter, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
All right, Leanne, thank you. A wild pursuit in Van Nuys. A car that was reported stolen crashes into another car. The suspect then gets out with a skateboard and tries to make a run for it. It all started when police tried to pull over the driver of a stolen BMW. The car crashed in traffic. The suspect led police on a foot chase, running from the scene of the accident with a skateboard. The driver of a red pickup truck tried to stop the man, actually cutting him off near a building.
I've seen exactly what happened. I've seen the guy running with a skateboard in his hand, and he's running from the cops. They're like right on him. There's, I don't know, about 6 or 7 cops. And, he got on the skateboard and he started moving, and it was just instinct, just to, block the guy off and, slow him down a little bit. That's all I could do.
Police took the suspect into custody. He did not appear to be injured. No officers were hurt in the chase. An auto wrecking yard in Pacoima went up in flames this afternoon on the 9,000 block of San Fernando Road. It took about 75 firefighters a half hour to knock out the large flames. Fortunately, nobody was hurt. Investigators are now trying to determine what started the fire.
Of course, another big story tonight. Southern Californians bracing for a big incoming storm, one that could trigger dangerous flooding and mudslides. We have Storm Track team coverage, including Giovanna Lara, with a look at how people are preparing. First, though, Dallas Raines is here with the storm, where it is right now. Dallas?
Okay, David. Well, today we had a lot of cloudy skies across Southern California. We're down at Disneyland, the California Adventure, where, if you're headed there tomorrow, the rain will be falling down in the OC. No doubt about that. The live Megadoppler 7000 HD tracking the leading edge of the storm coming up from the southwest. You can see all the green. It's still a few hours away from us, but after midnight tonight, the OC will start to see the rain, and some of it could be very heavy. We're also watching the Silverado Canyon area for the possibility of some debris flows down in that area for tomorrow. Flash flood watches are in effect for the Orange County area. You can see they cover all of that starting early tomorrow morning. I'll have the complete forecast in just a minute. See you then.
All right, Dallas.
Okay.
See you then. Residents across the Southland are bracing for the storm, scrambling to protect their homes from potential mudslides. Eyewitness News reporter Giovanna Lara is live in Monrovia, where she got a first-hand look at storm preparations. Giovanna.
Yes, that's right. The biggest line of defense for residents here in Monrovia is a 16-foot tall, 160-foot long retaining wall that was built last year here at the base of the foothills above the homes. That was built again last year after the Madison fire, which scorched more than 100 acres. And so that is there, but it can only hold so much mud and debris, and water will flow through it. So residents and fire officials, city officials, they're very concerned about this storm that's headed our way. They also have put out this dumpster that I'm standing in. It is filled with gravel, and residents have been coming throughout the day and this evening to fill their bags with the gravel. A lot of the homes here already have sandbags or gravel bags really in front of their homes. They are well prepared for this, and city officials say they're just hoping that the storm isn't as bad as it is expected to be. Fire officials in Monrovia aren't taking any chances. On a ride-along tonight, Fire Chief Chris Donovan showed us why they're so concerned about the homes on the roughly 8 to 10 blocks beneath the Madison fire area. Dozens of K-rails still line several streets since they were first put in place months after the 2013 Madison fire that scorched 120 acres above the neighborhood. With no vegetation, the mud and debris flows from this storm are expected to be significant and dangerous to homeowners. Tonight, residents are out filling bags with gravel, placing them strategically in front of their homes.
You know, you put these out and cross your fingers, and you know that these guys are watching, so that's good.
The actions that our residents are taking here in Monrovia are prudent actions to take. Filling the sandbags and stacking those sandbags, the information that we shared with them for several years now, and more importantly tomorrow when the rains start, monitoring local news and radio stations, and if evacuation orders are issued to leave the area.
And fire officials say tomorrow they will be patrolling this neighborhood very closely, monitoring the situation. They're asking residents to also monitor the news themselves, and if they have to place evacuation orders, if they have to tell people about evacuation orders, they'll do so via Nixle and reverse 911. We're live in Monrovia. Giovanna Lotta, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Giovanna, thank you. A 9-mile stretch of Pacific Coast Highway between Malibu and Oxnard remains closed due to a rock slide triggered by rain over the weekend. The PCH closure is between Las Posas and Yerba Buena roads. Crews have been busy all day clearing the road of mud and debris. The road was expected to be closed at least through today, but could be closed longer with more rain on the way.
We want to thank our circle of eyewitnesses who sent us pictures and video of the rainfall. Ricky Jones shot this video of a downpour in Cyprus and uploaded it with the free ABC7 app. Ricky says she lost her satellite signal during the storm. And you can also share your stormy weather pictures and video on social media with the hashtag ABC7 Eyewitness. And with another storm on its way into Southern California, now is the time to download a free Megadoppler weather app. You can watch the live Megadoppler 7000 HD in real time and stay up to the second on any flash flooding. Just go to the App Store or Google Play and search all one word, Megadoppler.
Also at 7 o'clock, arraignment today for a man accused of firing multiple shots at LA Sheriff's deputies from his Lawndale home. Travis Herr pleaded not guilty to 16 counts, including attempted murder of a police officer. In late October, police say Herr was firing at cars and houses with a machine gun. When a SWAT team surrounded the home, he started firing at them. No deputies were hit. The standoff ended when deputies shot and wounded Herr. He is scheduled to be back in court January 6th for a preliminary hearing. A pilot and passenger are breathing a sigh of relief after their small plane skidded off a runway at the Fullerton Airport. The FAA says a Cessna 182 veered off the right side of the runway 24 during its landing and struck a taxiway sign this afternoon. The plane stayed upright. Neither of the two people on board were injured, and there was no fuel leak. The plane suffered minor damage. It's unclear what caused the plane to veer off the runway. And a Los Angeles couple cleared by a Qatari appeals court of wrongdoing in the 2013 death of their adopted daughter is hoping it'll be allowed to leave the country soon. Matthew and Grace Wong were stopped by immigration authorities as they tried to pass through the Doha airport. Their passports were also confiscated. An appeals court had ruled they were free to leave after a judge overturned a child endangerment conviction against them, but the couple was informed some paperwork still needed to be filed before they could leave. Secretary of State John Kerry urged Qatar's government to immediately implement the court's decision and allow this family to return home to the U.S. Suspended LA Kings defenseman Slava Voinov has pleaded not guilty to a felony domestic violence charge. Voinov was at the Torrance courthouse today, where a judge allowed him to remain free on $50,000 bail until a preliminary hearing December 15th. According to police, Voinov and his wife got into an argument at their Redondo Beach home in October. The argument got physical. The DA's office says the King star drove his wife to a Torrance hospital where she was treated for injuries to her face. The two-time Stanley Cup champion has been suspended by the National Hockey League with pay.
Former NFL player Ray Rice is eligible to play again after winning an appeal of the NFL suspension over his domestic abuse case. This weekend, an arbitrator overturned Rice's indefinite suspension, and now Rice's wife is speaking out. ABC's Lana Zach has her comments and more on Rice's possible future in football.
Even after the most disturbing video surfaced of Ray Rice hitting his then-fiancée Janae, she has been his most ardent defender, going forward with their marriage, appearing hand-in-hand with the football player, and supporting him in an NBC interview.
I know for a fact that Ray told the honest truth that he's been telling from February.
She maintains the NFL was fully aware of the incident from the beginning and that Commissioner Roger Goodell only kicked her husband out of the NFL following public outrage regarding his initial 2-game suspension. The judge agreed, and Rice is now a free agent. But will anyone sign him?
I would be personally surprised if another NFL team picked him up this season. But going forward, I fully expect Ray Rice to play again.
Even Michael Vick, who went to prison for a felony conviction on an illegal dogfighting ring, found his way back to the field.
We're a country of second chances, but particularly in the NFL.
But for all her support, Janae admits that seeing Ray drag her body out of the elevator brought about a physical reaction. Telling ESPN, "I was sick to my stomach. I just broke down in tears."
At least 4 teams have expressed an interest in Rice, but 2 of those, the Colts and the Saints, have since pulled back. It remains to be seen what will happen in the offseason. Lana Zach, ABC News, New York.
Up next here tonight, new implications in the major movie hack at Sony.
Why U.S. authorities think North Korea hackers may be to blame, and how James Franco and Seth Rogen figure into all this.
Plus, the driver's unsuccessful attempt to avoid a sinkhole, and you won't believe what happened next.
And the search for a new home for this dog who's overcome an unbelievable case of animal cruelty.
The FBI confirms it is investigating a major cyber attack of Sony Pictures Entertainment. It caused severe internal computer problems at the film studio, and now copies of unreleased Sony films are showing up online. ABC's Ted Rollins reports one of Sony's Christmas films, a comedy about North Korea, could be the cause.
Hello, North Korea! The yet-to-be-released movie The Interview has North Korea on the suspect list for a cyber attack against Sony Pictures that was so bad it shut down the studio's computer system for days, reportedly forcing some employees to use Gmail accounts to communicate.
You want us to kill the leader of North Korea?
What? The comedy stars Seth Rogen and James Franco, who are plotting to kill North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
This is speculation. Nobody knows if North Korea is really behind this.
A hacker group calling itself GOP, the Guardians of Peace, is taking responsibility for the attack. Over the weekend, several pirated copies of Sony films showed up online, including Brad Pitt's World War II movie Fury, currently in theaters, and the yet-to-be-released remake of Annie. In addition to the criminal investigation, Sony has also hired an outside security firm, telling ABC News the attack is a criminal matter and we are working closely with law enforcement to address it. On Friday, a North Korean government website reportedly called The Interview an evil act of provocation that deserved stern punishment.
Whether the attack is North Korea's revenge against Sony remains to be seen. Meantime, Sony's computer system is back online, and The Interview is set for release on Christmas Day. Ted Rollins, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A close call for a driver trying to avoid a massive sinkhole in China. You have to see this one. The white car tries to go around the hole, but instead falls right into it. The passenger and driver were able to get out safely, and it's a good thing because take a look at this. Minutes later, after they got out, the car is then swallowed up by the sinkhole. Transportation officials say the hole was caused due to the collapse of sands beneath the road surface. The road is blocked off over the next few days for repairs. But look at that. That car just fell right upside down.
Wow.
Huge hole.
No, that would be very scary. Let's talk about our rain that's coming, Dallas.
Well,
this
you know,
is
yesterday
exciting.
all my friends said to me, Dee, what is the strange liquid falling from the sky? You know, we haven't seen very much rain, but we have a good storm. This one is going to bring some beneficial rain to Southern California, but at the same time, it's going to be a dangerous situation. Let's go outside tonight, but you don't have to worry because we're right here. We have the live Megalopolis 7000 HD. By the way, Jonathan taking a week vacation. Deserves it, so that's why I am here with you tonight. Thank you for having me. Malibu, which had the rain yesterday, and even some debris flow, is cloudy tonight, but no rain yet. There's a beautiful sunset across Southern California today. Again, today had some sun and a lot of clouds, but we didn't have any rain. We're kind of in between these two weather systems, and what a shot down at Disneyland. But if you're headed to Disneyland, you will see some rain in the forecast tomorrow. Make sure you got the rain gear with you down at Disneyland. Here's a live Megalopolis 7000 HD. You can see the leading edge of the subtropical moisture that's coming in from the southwest. It's not here yet, but around midnight or so, we'll start seeing some light rain, and then after that, it's just going to get heavier. Therefore, a flash flood watch will be issued starting tomorrow morning at about 6 o'clock. So just about drive time, we should see some rain across all of Orange County, the IE, and then during the course of the day, it will get heavy at times. That's why we have the flash flood watch in effect. For tonight, we will have some rain, but not until after midnight. You saw the live Megalopolis 7000 HD. Temperatures at about 59 at the beaches, and the inland valleys about 52. Unfortunately, this storm system is not going to have a lot of snow with it for the local mountains. A lot of snow in the Sierra, but not here. And the reason for that, you can see the satellite view, big low swirling around out. Remember, we had the big high pressure for weeks with that sun and dry, 5% humidity. Things have changed. Now we're bringing in moisture, what we call the subtropical connection, all the way down off of Hawaii, right into California. Yes, that's exactly what we need because that's going to produce 2 to 3 feet of snow up in the high Sierra. Jet stream with winds up to 100 knots will start blowing in across California during the day tomorrow as that storm makes its way eastbound. And the jet stream of those high-velocity winds up there at about 30,000 feet help lift the atmosphere and produce the rain. So bring on the rain. So for tomorrow, be prepared if you absolutely don't have to drive tomorrow. Of course, if you do, you have to get on the freeways, but if you can postpone it a day or two, try to do that. It's going to be raining 1 to 2 inches, 65, 69 on Wednesday, and I'm going to still hold a 60% chance of showers early on Wednesday, and then we'll break it loose for some sunshine breaking through as we head toward the weekend. There will be a very weak weather system on Saturday morning. That will generate about a 20% chance of showers. That's all. So nothing really going on the weekend, but we've got a lot of rain coming in, 2 to 3 inches in some of the foothill communities. All right, let's go to the beaches. A rainy day at the beach tomorrow, 1 to 2 inches. And on to the mountain areas, as you can see, it is mainly rain. There might be a little snow. Colleen and David and folks at home above 8,000 feet by Wednesday, but by the time the colder air comes in, not a whole lot of snow, but a lot of rain.
Great. We can't wait, Dallas.
All right.
Thank you. Well, he's lived a rough life suffering what one official calls one of the worst cases of neglect. But better days are ahead for one Riverside County dog, and after some intensive medical treatment, he's now ready for the perfect family to take him home for the holidays. Inland Empire Bureau Chief Rob McMillan introduces us to Peter.
Like many of the animals at the Riverside County shelter, Peter is up for adoption.
Somebody's got to love you. Don't be scared. It's okay.
And while this Queensland Heeler Pit Bull mix does have a calm demeanor, there's something he does not have, his back left leg. Animal Services Dr. Alan Drusi says they had to amputate it after one of the worst cases of neglect he's ever seen.
That wound, whatever it was, left unattended for literally months at a time, caused the lower part of the leg essentially to mummify, die off and mummify.
This dog, was essentially dragging himself around the property.
That was about a month ago. Now, spokesperson John Welsh says Peter is ready for a new home.
We want to encourage somebody that if they want to adopt this dog, that they need to have some patience.
So Peter is now available for adoption, but folks here at the shelter want to remind people that he's not exactly a dog for everyone.
So everybody's really involved in making sure that he finds the right family, especially for Christmas. We're all hoping he'll find a home for the holidays.
As for how this happened to Peter, people at Animal Services say they just don't know. Regardless, they say they do plan to file charges against the dog's former owner.
It's inhumane, it's terrible, and if you can't afford to take the dog to the vet, you can bring the dog to us.
In Harupa Valley, Rob McMillan, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Animals always show how resilient they are.
That dog deserves a great home, and he's going to get one.
Definitely. All right, well, what caused a fire aboard a Boeing Dreamliner that grounded the entire 787 fleet? What investigators are now saying today.
Plus, there are toys that look fun but can be extremely dangerous. The Trouble in Toyland list you need to know about.
Hi, I'm Specialist Renee Iniguez. I'm stationed in Wiesbaden, Germany. I'd like to send a shout out to my aunt, Maria Limon, in Rancho Cucamonga, California. Season's greetings, and I'll be seeing you guys shortly.
A manufacturing defect may likely be behind a fire that grounded all Boeing 787 Dreamliners for months. Federal investigators say an internal short circuit lead to the battery fire on a 787 that was parked at Boston's Logan Airport last year. Their report, released today, claims that flaws in the batteries were not detected at the manufacturing plant in Japan. Investigators also blame Boeing for the battery design and the FAA for not catching the design problem. The entire 787 fleet was grounded while Boeing redesigned the plane's batteries.
A huge leap forward for robotics. Researchers at MIT are crafting the first of its kind, a cheetah robot. The fastest land animal on Earth is feared and admired. Now researchers are trying to recreate the fast cat. The four-legged robot can run on its own power up to 10 miles an hour. The project is funded by the U.S. military's research arm.
There are sensors inside of the robot which measures the angle of the leg. That information goes to the board here, and then this board sends that information to the main computer.
It's unbelievable. Researchers say real-life applications could be used in prosthetics and wearable technology for the future. During recent test runs, the robot broke front legs, but researchers say they will keep plugging away.
Seriously, when they finish that, watching that run away, it's sci-fi. Like,
yeah.
Awesome. We are updating the evening's top stories next at 7:30.
Including the very latest on our incoming storm. Dallas Raines is tracking it all. His updated forecast straight ahead.
And the U.S. military has taken another ISIS threat very seriously. What the Pentagon is telling military personnel to do to stay safe.
Live from ABC7, this is Eyewitness News at 7:30 p.m. on LA56.
Our top story at 7:30. Southern Californians are bracing for a big storm that's heading our way. Hello, I'm David Ono.
And I'm Colleen Sullivan. This is Eyewitness News on LA56, LA's only live local newscast at 7:30 p.m. In Monrovia, people have been preparing for more wet weather and the possibility of mudslides by putting out sandbags. Meantime, a 9-mile stretch of Pacific Coast Highway between Malibu and Oxnard remains closed due to a rock slide triggered by rain over the weekend. This incoming storm is expected to dump at least a couple inches of rain across the coast, and Dallas Rains is tracking the storm's path. What is it looking like right now, Dallas?
That's right, Colleen. We're looking at cloudy skies, but we don't have to look very far with the live Megadoppler 7000 HD before we see rain. Now, tomorrow down at Disneyland, where tonight it's beautiful, there is rain in the forecast. Have your gear ready if you're headed to Disneyland tomorrow. Live Megadoppler 7000 HD now shows the rain approaching the California coastline. It's still a ways off. I think sometime around midnight we'll start seeing some light rain, and overnight into tomorrow looks like a wet day. Therefore, a flash flood watch has been issued. That's Riverside, San Bernardino County, also the OC, starting at about 9 o'clock tomorrow morning and lasting until 6 o'clock. All of Orange County is in that flash flood watch. And remember, David and Colleen, when we have a flash flood watch, it simply means that conditions are favorable for flooding. No flooding at this moment, thank goodness.
No doubt.
All right.
Dallas, thank you.
Okay.
And remember, you can track the storm on your mobile device with the free ABC7 Megadoppler weather app. You get live radar and the latest 7-day forecast. It's available from the iTunes App Store and Google Play. Just search Megadoppler.
3 men who were convicted of causing the Colby fire near Glendora have been ordered to pay more than $9 million in restitution. The money would compensate fire victims, insurers, police, and firefighters. The Colby fire burned 1,900 acres, 5 homes, 17 other structures. It caused mass evacuations in Azusa and Glendora. Jonathan Jarrell, Clifford Henry Jr., and Stephen Aguirre were convicted of starting an illegal campfire that caused this brush fire.
There were demonstrations across the country again today, part of a nationwide movement in the wake of a Ferguson grand jury's decision. About 24 people gathered in front of the LAPD's Newton Division in South Los Angeles. They then marched south, blocking traffic as they moved down Central Avenue. The group also passed by the intersection where Ezell Ford was fatally shot by police in August. They described Ford's death and the death of Michael Brown as a national crisis. One protester was arrested, but it's not known why.
While protesters continue over the Ferguson grand jury's decision, President Obama is taking action, trying to focus on lessons to be learned. He spent today meeting with members of his cabinet, civil rights leaders, and law enforcement officials. The president is calling for a 3-year, $263 million spending package that includes expanded police training programs and $75 million to subsidize more body cameras for police officers.
There have been commissions before, there have been task forces, there have been conversations, and nothing happens. Part of the reason this time will be different is because the President of the United States is deeply invested in making sure that this time is different.
While the president was meeting, protesters gathered right outside the White House. Other marches and demonstrations took place in cities like New York and Philadelphia.
Sheriff Jim McDonald has been officially sworn in as the 32nd Sheriff of Los Angeles County. McDonald is the first outsider in 100 years to leave the department. He replaces interim Sheriff John Scott, who was appointed after 4-term Sheriff Lee Baca retired in the wake of multiple federal investigations into activities in several county jails. McDonald called the controversy a civil war that's torn the department apart.
And will develop a culture in which career paths and promotions in the department are the result of character, competence, and compassion, as performed with a sense of humility and based on a foundation of respect.
McDonald is the former chief of the Long Beach Police Department and a 29-year veteran of the Los Angeles Police Department.
LA County's newest supervisors have been sworn in. Sheila Kuehl steps in for the retiring supervisor Xavier Slavsky. She pulled in 53% of the vote in November runoff election against Bobby Shriver. Meantime, Hilda Solis replaces Supervisor Gloria Molina. She got 70% of the vote during June's primary, avoiding a November runoff.
For countless number of people that I've met throughout the course of the last 2 years and have remained very committed to my principles of representing our community.
Solis promised during her campaign to continue reforms of the county's child welfare system. Kuehl has been a champion for environmental issues and worked with Yaroslavsky on conservation efforts in the Santa Monica Mountains.
A warning from the FBI: ISIS militants could be targeting U.S. service members here in the United States. Military members are now looking at their online social media presence for any information that might attract attention of violent extremists, and they have been told to use caution when posting anything online.
The warning from the FBI is the strongest yet about possible attacks by ISIS against U.S. service members here in the States.
It's sort of like be on the lookout for or change your behavior because we believe it can potentially put you in harm's way.
Overnight, the FBI and the Department of Homeland Security released a joint intelligence bulletin saying that ISIS is looking for sympathizers in the U.S. who are willing and capable of conducting attacks on current and former members of the U.S. military. Officials are strongly urging U.S. military members who serve in uniform to get rid of anything on their social media accounts that might bring unwanted attention from violent extremists or help extremists learn their identities.
Because we can put ourselves in this situation where we are giving the enemy information on where we are, maybe what we're doing.
A big concern for U.S. officials: copycats who try to launch attacks like the ones in Ottawa in October. In two separate incidents, 2 uniformed Canadian soldiers were killed by young men who were apparently ISIS sympathizers. Some members of the U.S. Special Forces tell ABC News they have deactivated their Facebook and other social media accounts.
We understand you're young, you communicate through social media, but we're telling you that's how ISIS finds people that they potentially target.
This warning comes as an ISIS affiliate in Egypt announced it has killed an American oil worker, William Henderson. Henderson's company says he was killed in August in a carjacking.
U.S. law enforcement posted the warning in advance of the holiday season when many members of the U.S. military travel in uniform.
The man accused of assaulting V. Stiviano may have the charges dropped. A New York court is considering tossing out the misdemeanor assault case against Dominic Diorio if he avoids arrest for 6 months. Authorities say he punched V. Stiviano in the face in June and made racial slurs toward her. Prosecutors say they've talked to Stiviano about the dismissal plan. Her lawyer has not yet commented.
Just in time for today's Cyber Monday toy buying frenzy, it is the 29th annual Trouble in Toyland report, a list of dangerous toys.
And this year's list was released at Children's Hospital, where victims of some of those hazardous toys end up. Eyewitness News reporter Darsha Phillips has details.
Emergency room doctors at Children's Hospital Los Angeles see several cases every holiday season of children impacted by an unsafe toy.
We've seen a number of kids who have accidents related to small toy parts.
CalPRIG released its annual survey of toy safety in hopes of avoiding such emergencies.
We found these toys everywhere, in dollar stores, in big box stores, online, and stores like Walmart.
The report contains toys with one of the biggest hazards, small parts, like the edgy-shaped textured blocks. The label says it's okay for kids 2 and up, but the survey finds it isn't.
You can see when you take one of the shapes out of there, it clearly fits in the choke hazard.
Parents can do a choke hazard test at home by using an empty toilet paper roll.
But you could have something that's very useful.
The report also listed toxic toys.
In dollar store, we found the toy sheriff's badges. They exceeded the allowable lead standard of 90 parts per million.
And loud toys that may damage a child's hearing, like the John Deere Roar and Rumble toy tractor. Officials want to remind parents this holiday season to protect their children by creating a safe, secure, and supervised environment and being aware of toys that could be potentially dangerous.
For a complete list of those potentially dangerous toys, log on to our website, ABC7.com. In Hollywood, I'm Darsha Phillips, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
And up next, we will take you behind the scenes to show you what it takes to get you all those bargains you find on Amazon.com.
Plus, the Supreme Court taking on social media and free speech. Is it possible to cross the line?
Supreme Court justices are debating the line between free speech and illegal threats on social media. The case involves a Pennsylvania man convicted after posting Facebook rants about killing his estranged wife, harming law enforcement officials, and shooting up a school. Attorneys for Anthony Ilanis say he was just venting and didn't mean to threaten anyone. Government attorneys say if he made a reasonable person feel threatened, then it's a threat. Several justices are concerned the government's position risks encroaching on free speech, which is protected by the First Amendment.
For most of us, Cyber Monday means finding good deals online, but for others it means a busy day of work, making sure all of those online orders eventually end up at your front door. Eyewitness News reporter Marco Robles takes us behind the scenes at the Amazon Distribution Center in San Bernardino.
Caroline Bell has worked at Amazon for just over a year. She is already one of the top 10 fastest packers at this fulfillment center in San Bernardino.
I'm going slow right now.
She'll pack more than 1,000 boxes during today's 10-hour shift.
We're excited and eager to get out a lot of packages today.
Like most online retailers, Cyber Monday is Amazon's busiest day of the year. Last year, customers got online and purchased more than 36.8 million items worldwide. That is a record-breaking 426 items per second. This year, research firm ComScore is expecting online shoppers to spend $2.5 billion, even if many people are back at work.
It happens. Everybody has a lunch break, right? You know, it's really quick to shop, and you can actually see some of our best deals and lightning deals in advance.
I'm amazed. It's so big, and there's so much product in here.
Joe Giacone and his business partner own Tech Armor. They say on Cyber Monday, they'll sell 5 times what they would sell on a normal day. Employees like Carolyn Bell say the work isn't hard, but it does take focus.
I love getting the packages out to the customer as quickly as possible.
And to make those deliveries even faster, the CEO of Amazon wants to one day use drones to deliver some of these packages to your home, but that technology is not yet ready. Reporting from San Bernardino, I'm Marco Robles, ABC7 Eyewitness News.
Heavy rain, possible flooding, and mudslides. A major storm is edging closer to Southern California. Will this big rain event set the stage for a wet winter? Talos Rains has his complete forecast next.
Plus, the Galaxy clinched their record 9th trip to the MLS Cup. Coming up in sports, we'll hear from the squad as they prep for this Sunday's championship.
A lot of weather happening this week. Jonathan Novak is off. He's probably very bummed that he's missing this big storm, but filling in for him, Dallas Rains. And Dallas, you're talking about the big changes because of the jet stream?
The jet stream, and the jet stream are the winds up at about 30,000 feet. We haven't had them in Southern California in a long time, but they're about to arrive very soon. Tonight down at Disneyland, what a beautiful shot. I just love Disneyland this time of the year. And if you're going to be at Disneyland tomorrow, be prepared for some rain coming down. Have your rain gear ready because it's going to be a cloudy day. Live Megalopolis 7000 HD shows the leading edge of the rain tonight. It is moving towards Southern California. It's just still another 2 or 3 hours before the light rain arrives. But during the day tomorrow, looks like a rainy day all day long. Therefore, a flash flood watch has been issued for all of Southern California, with exception of downtown out to Santa Monica, portions of the San Fernando Valley. But where we're most concerned is along the foothill communities. I'll talk about that in just a minute. It will not end until 6 o'clock in the morning on Wednesday. So I think this is going to be a protracted rain event starting late tonight after midnight, and then raining most of the day tomorrow into tomorrow night and into Wednesday morning. Overnight lows tonight are nice and mild in the 50s. So when we look at the future scan at the winds up there at about 15 to 20,000 feet, notice this big low swirling around, and as it moves through time, it is getting a little closer to California. That's going to bring tremendous amounts of rain and snow in the Sierra. Now, we're in a subtropical connection. You say, well, Dee, what does that mean? That means that there's enough warm air aloft that it's not going to be very much snow, I'm afraid, for our local mountains. It's going to rain hard in the mountains, but the snow levels are just too high. Let's look at what we consider an area that's vulnerable to rain along the foothills, because the winds come in from the southwest, and when the wind comes in, it can't go down into the ground, of course, so it's lifted, and when you lift the clouds and rain, it produces heavier rain on the south-facing sides of the mountains. Here's a 7-day forecast. Rain tomorrow, heavy at times, 1 to 2. Be prepared, 65. Chance of showers last into Wednesday morning, about 60%. Then we'll break it off to partly cloudy skies Thursday and Friday. A little weak weather system comes in Saturday, but I'm only going to put 20% in at this time. So I think the weekend overall should be a nice weekend with temperatures in the upper 60s for highs. Rainfall totals could be heavy in those upslope areas, Monrovia, Glendora, those areas, and also down at Silverado Canyon. We're watching that very carefully for you. Flash flood watch goes in effect tomorrow morning. At the beaches, rain coming down at friends on the coastline, 1 to 2 inches total through Wednesday morning. Some flooding is possible. We did see some debris flow down in Malibu. We're going to be on the watch for that too. And then for the weekend, we're looking pretty good. Let's head up to the mountain areas. And again, as I mentioned, this is mainly a rain event. Look at the high temperature at Big Bear. My forecast at 49. That's really way too warm to get much snow. So it's above 10,000 feet. Then some cooler air does come in on Wednesday, but by the time it does, most of the moisture is going to be out. So only a dusting of snow, maybe 1, 2, 3 inches above 8,000 feet. Quick look at the high desert. Gusty winds tomorrow and a chance of rain, so it's going to be a cold day. 57 for a high up there. Colleen and David, our first big storm of the season is almost upon us.
We've waited forever for it, Dallas.
We sure have.
Thank you.
Glad to see it.
You bet.
All right.
The Clippers finished a 7-game road trip on a positive note, winning 4 in a row and 6 of their 7 games away from Staples. And tonight, they finally make their return home against 4-11 Minnesota. And we'll have those highlights for you and Eyewitness News at 11 p.m. on ABC7. In soccer now, after a 2-1 loss to Seattle last night, the Galaxy still managed to advance to the record 9th MLS Cup Finals. LA took the tiebreaker because they had the most away goals in the 2-game series. This will mark the 3rd time in 4 seasons the team has advanced to the championship, and they credit the continuity of the roster as one of the main reasons for their reign.
It's my 4th final in 6 years, so with majority of the guys, 8, 9, regular starters year in, year out. It's just a testament to our character and chemistry.
It's been a great balance with experience and youth, and we have a great tradition now, but I think at this point in time we haven't won anything this year, and I don't think that's the definition of a dynasty if you haven't won anything. So we'll wait and see if we can accomplish our goal of winning on Sunday.
The Michael Brown grand jury verdict has sparked protest all around the country, and yesterday it reached the NFL field. Before trotting onto the field for their pregame introductions, the Rams receiving corps stood with their hands raised in a show of compassion and solidarity for Ferguson protesters. The Rams front office was not aware of the gesture planned by the players. The Ferguson Police Association, they weren't happy with the move and wrote a letter to the NFL saying, quote, somebody needs to throw a flag on this play. If it's not the NFL and the Rams, then it'll be cops and their supporters.
As far as the choice that the players made, no, they're exercising their right to free speech. They will not be disciplined by the club, nor will they be disciplined by the National Football League.
I'm just here for a great cause that could come out of this if people come together and we have something to say about it. We just want to let the community know that we support them.
The NFL announced today it will not fine the players.
Some of the biggest names in the entertainment industry performed at the Golden Bear nightclub in Huntington Beach. The club long gone, but the memories still alive. Eyewitness Orange County reporter Greg Lee shows us how the city of Huntington Beach today honored the iconic venue.
B.B. King, Tower of Power, Steve Martin, Robin Williams, just a few of the names who took the stage at this small nightclub in Huntington Beach. The Golden Bear only fit about 300 people, but some say it was Orange County's hub for live entertainment.
Incredible shows poured out on stage there, so it had heart and soul. That was why it was the place to be.
The Golden Bear was first built as a cafe in 1929. It didn't become a music club until 1963. From then on, some of the biggest names in entertainment came to perform, leaving fans with memories for a lifetime.
Brisk ocean air when you come out all hot and sweaty from a show. I don't think that's captured anywhere else.
But in 1986, it closed and was demolished because of structural concerns. Today, dozens came to share stories, look at old photographs, and talk about how much they miss the club.
They're tearing down the church here.
Yeah, I'm just going to have to say that tears were shed.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's very depressing.
City leaders unveiled a new plaque honoring the place where the Golden Bear used to stand, recognizing its iconic role in Huntington Beach's history.
The emotions and the memories run deep in this community, and it's about time, the least we could do is a plaque for it, and, we all wish it was still here.
In Huntington Beach, Greg Lee, ABC7, Eyewitness News.
More news straight ahead here at 7:30, and ahead tonight on Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7. A police helicopter explodes into a spinning ball of flames when a fire truck clipped one of its rotors. Plus, does the state owe you money? Why the state is looking for thousands of taxpayers. These stories and all the late-breaking news on Southern California's #1 late newscast, Eyewitness News at 11 on ABC7.
Instead of going to a hotel, some guests in Sweden are having the hotel go to them. It's the latest marketing gimmick by a hotel chain. Scandic to Go delivers a movable hotel room to almost any location the guest requests. The container is nearly 200 square feet large. Comes with a bed, sitting area, bathroom, electricity, air conditioning, and Wi-Fi. There's even breakfast service in the morning. Each location must be accessible by car or boat and be large enough to fit the container. The room costs around $350 per night.
Well, finally tonight, a star-studded event and journey through Hollywood history. Julian's will be hosting its Icons and Idols auction this coming Friday and Saturday. And we got a sneak peek at some of the featured items during the media exhibition today. Collections include memorabilia from Marilyn Monroe, Princess Diana, Lonnie Anderson, and even Star Wars, to name a few. Wow, a lot of good stuff there. Ooh, even blurred out those little racy things, I guess, there, too.
That alone is reason to go out there and check it out. See what that picture really looks like.
I know. I was like,
Thanks for joining us for Eyewitness News at 7:30 on LA56. Law and Order SVU is next here on LA56.
And Eyewitness News continues at 11 p.m. on ABC7 and anytime on ABC7.com.
And remember, you can get your news 24 hours a day by following us on Facebook and Twitter, downloading our ABC7 apps. And keep in mind, it's going to be raining tomorrow. Check us out.